transformation, T transformation using data flow. That's what our first attempt we completed. Then same transformation we achieved using stored procedure. Okay, we used stored procedure and we completed same. Then today we want to do the same T using Python. And that Python also we are trying to write it inside. We can write Python code in multiple places, but today we are trying to write that Python code inside the Azure function. We are trying to write it. Python you also can able to write inside the one more concept is available batch. So we can able to write there also can able to write it. But today we are trying to focus and trying to learn about how to write the transformation code inside the Python and do it. We are following consistency purpose. We are achieving only one thing that is called as derived column transformation. Derived column transformation. All we are trying to do is we are trying to do the whatever we have the salary plus whatever we have the NVL of commission. That means if commission is null, we are replacing with 0. Then this is equal to we are naming it as a total salary. We are naming it. This is what the logic new column what you are trying to create it. All the places we are trying to achieve same kind of concept. Okay, either in the stored procedure we are trying to do same logic, and here also we are trying to do same logic now. Now we want to understand Azure functions, Azure functions in many areas actually. So we can do transformation as you're doing the data engineering job, transformations we are using Azure functions, but Azure functions has so many other use cases also we have it. Today we are going to know Azure functions, how to use it to do the ETL, mainly T transformations, how we can do that. Okay, but end of my class, if really understand it, the framework, then all you have to do is Python is your language, right? Whatever code you want to write it, you can write it and you can achieve whatever you want it. Let's see. Let us see how we can able to start it, right? Okay, we have here documentation. So first point it's saying as Azure function is a cloud service available on demand that provides all the continually updated infrastructure and resources needed to run our applications. So no need to worry about how much RAM I want it, what type of CPU I want it, what softwares I have to install inside this one. Those all things you are least bother about it. Those all things are based on our code. Based on our code, automatically adjusted. So you focus on the code that matters most to you. Today, derived column transformation is matters to me. That's what my focus. Whatever my goal is there, that code only we are going to write it. We are least bothered about infrastructure and all. The most productive languages for you and functions handles the rest. So you write our code using whatever language you want it. Whatever language means it may be .NET, it may be Python, it may be Java, it may be whatever you know it, whatever you know it, using that language, you try to handle your case. Okay, right. Functions provide serverless compute for Azure. This is one more interesting thing. So it is a serverless component. That means whenever you are initiated your work, then server will be created for you and it is running for you. And once it is completed, server will be decommissioned. That means how much time you are using exactly, that much bill only will be generated. No dedicated server will be assigned to you. Okay. You can use functions to build web APIs. Some API you want it, you can build it. Respond to database changes. Suppose whenever one new record is came to the database, you want to do some XYZ activity, you can do that one. Process some IoT streams, some CC camera photos, always you have to store somewhere else. Okay, you can go ahead and you can do that one. Manage message queues. So you're using Kafka or Spark streaming, you're using those things you want to manage it, you can do it, and many more. So a lot of use cases we have it. So today we are trying to do it is only transformation logic, how to handle it inside this one using Python language. That too we are trying to do it. Now, in order to do this one, we need to have some kind of installations are required. So install required tools. This is the documentation everyone need to follow so that you can able to install required components very easily. You can able to install it. Let me show you this document. Refer this document to install number one Python, because I'm going to write the code in the Python. I'm going to write it. To write the code, we need the one tool is required, one IDE is required, VS Code, which is similar to the Jupyter Notebook kind of thing. Then some Python extensions are required and some Azure function extension is required. These are the four things what are going to install it, and it will not take much time, matter of seconds are going to do that one. Let me open this document, open this link, then so here this is a quick start. So you can notice here, create a function in Azure with Python using Visual Studio Code. Create a function in Azure with Python using Visual Studio Code. Okay. Now, if you see here, left side, we have something interesting. Python below, we have Visual Studio Code. Then we have here command line also. If you click on the command line, same quick start will be there. Create Python function in Azure from the command line. Using command line also you can do the same activity. Next, we have one more thing called as Azure Developer CLI. Using Azure Developer CLI also you can create the functions. But 100% is all the people are using only Visual Studio Code. No one is using command line and Azure Developer CLI for better managing the projects and all. So that is the reason whatever, even though we have three ways here, but whatever most of the people are using it, that one I want to follow here. So go with the Visual Studio Code. Now, if you go for here, yeah, if you have time, I request you people to walk through this video. It is going to give some better understanding. Now, yeah, this is what the configure your environment. Before you begin, make sure that you have the following requirements in place. An Azure account you should require. Yes, I have already Azure account. So we have been using student subscription we are using. So we have our subscription is active. We have the login. So this is what is required. First one. Okay, Azure for students, we have the account is available. Okay, good. Second, a Python version that is supported by Azure functions. For more information, see how to install the Python. So you need to install the Python. We came to this course already. We installed the Python and we came to this course. If you go and try to type here CMD command prompt, then if you write here Python, we are able to recognize this Python. That means we have the Python. The version is 3.11.3. Okay, we have this Python also in our system. So second also we already have. Third is Visual Studio Code on one of the supported platforms. Okay, right. Visual Studio Code, you need to install it. In my case, I already have that one. So this is what the Visual Studio Code, you can able to open this one. If people who do not have this one, all you have to do is right click on this one, open this link in new tab. Then one tab will be opens. There you have the option to download for Windows. All you have to do is click on this download for Windows. It will be installed for you this Visual Studio Code. That's simple. That's simple. Okay. So now in my case, already I have the VS Code, so I need not worry about this. Okay. So previous project is available. Looks like. Let me close this folder. If you open empty one, this is how it looks like. This is how it looks like. Now let us go for some extensions we required here. Python extension for Visual Studio Code is required. If I right click on this one, open this link in new tab, then Python extension we have it. If you click on the install, in my case already it is available, right? That is the reason you can notice Python, it is asking to disable and install. Two options are available. For in your case, you'll get the install option, you are going to get it. In my case, already we have it. That is the reason it's saying as uninstall existing one, it is asking. Okay, this is a Python extension for Visual Studio Code. This is useful to do the some out when you are doing the work. It is going to help you to fill the formattings, okay, linting, code navigations, refactoration. These all things it is going to manage it. That's what we needed this one. Okay, this is also available. Next is available. Next is something Python extension is done. Next, Azure Functions extension. This also in my case might be available. So if you click on this one, if you click on, looks like it is not there. We click, let's see, click on install. Yeah, looks like it is also available. So we have here disable and install options are available. If it is not there, then it is going to get install button. You are going to get it. You have to hit on the install button. That's it. System will take care of rest of the story. So we have next one Azure Functions done. Next is available. This is not required to be honest. This is about local storage emulator that like we don't have the storage account. If you don't have the storage account, then we require this one. But we have the storage account already. I don't think so. You require this one. But if you are installing also, nothing to worry. One extra installation will be there, but nothing to worry. So these are the setup what you required in order to do this one. But this all to setup also will not take more than 5 minutes or 10 minutes of time. That much speed it will happens. Next is available. I think once we complete this one, let's go back to our notes. So refer this document, install this Python, VS Code, Python extension, and Azure function extension. These are the four things what I'm expecting. Now we are trying to create here Azure function app. Open our portal, then go to free services, then click on the functions create. Here we have the functions create. You can notice here, we have here 1 million requests per month is free. So more than that you are trying to go for it, then it will be charged. I think for training room learning, this is more than enough, more than enough. That means we never charged for something, okay? We are always, you can use it, this as a free of service, you can able to use it for the training room. Okay, now if you click on your create button, then you're going to get here functions app will be created for you. Click on select, then provide your new resource group and provide the function app and select the runtime stack as Python, review it and create it. Observe all the services under this resource group, whatever you created. Let's try to do this one. We are going for portal. This is our portal. Now go to the home. Then here in the search, you type here free services. So we got here free services. Then you type here Control F, then go for here functions. Then we're able to see the functions compute. Click on this create. Then we have here selecting a hosting option. These options determine how your app scales, resource available, for instance, and pricing. So we have different plans are available, flex consumption, functions premium, app service, like that. So we recommended one is first one, whatever available, that is a recommended one, go with that. Okay, right. Already it's selected, the first one only selected. Okay, let it be like that, click on select. Now, it is asking now, subscription is what? It is Azure for students. Then resource group, we need to select here existing resource groups, or to make better clarity, later you want to clean up very easily, better to create separate resource group for this. Click on here, create new. Then we are trying to provide here, okay, B, then 24, 11, we are learning here Azure functions we are learning. So that's the reason we are giving this name as AF, we are giving it. B24, 11, AF, we are giving it. Click on OK. So now this resource group is created. Under this resource group, I want to create here function app. Let's give the name of the function app as B2411. Then it is a okay Azure function app. Azure function app. Now, reason it is asking, you can select whatever region we want it. So in my case, I'm selecting here. Uh, in my case, I'm selecting here East Asia. Then runtime stack we have here. Let's select here. These are the languages it supports at this point of time. You can write your code inside the .NET, Node.js, Python, Java, PowerShell. You can write. These are the supporting language at this point of time. So we are going to use always Python. We are going to use it not only here, wherever you want it, Python only will use it. Okay, right. Now we selected the Python and version it is asking different versions it supports here 3.10, 3.11 we have it. So latest version is 3.11. So we selected. In fact, we also installed here 3.11 only. We have it in our mission. So that is reason 3.11 we are selecting. In some reason in your mission we have 3.10, then better to go for here 3.10, better to go for it. That's it. These are the options what you are going to fill it here. We'll select here new resource group. This is a new resource group I wanted. This is a function app name, region as whichever region is near to you that you select it. Then runtime stack, Python and version and instance size you are selecting. Click on here review and create. Then it's going to review all our options whatever we given. Right. Now it's saying a summary function app by Microsoft. So this is what the details it is going to create it. Let it create. Click on the create. So it's trying to initialize the deployment. You can see the notifications here. Yeah. So deployment is going on here. Once it is completed, if you go inside this and observe what are the services it is creating under this resource group, because dedicatedly we created this resource group to hold the Azure function relevant things, right? So this is our resource group B2411AF. So under B2411AF, we have here app service plan something which is located in the East Asia. We have it. Okay, click on refresh. One thing it's created, and still some things are going on. Yeah, now you can see second one we have here application insights also is creating. Application insights means who are the people are using, when they are using, what they are using. Those all things automatically generates the insights for you. It is a one service. And again click on refresh. Now looks like it is completed everything. After everything is completed, if you notice here what are the things are available. Let me maximize the screen. Okay, now so these are the three services we can able to observe at this point of time. I think four. One is function app also available. Storage account also one more thing is created. In the runtime, it's required a storage account to store your code, like Python file you are going to create it, some code. And also supporting files are available. Those all files where it is going to store. It is going to store inside the storage account. From this storage account, it's try to read it. That's the reason it requires one storage account system automatically created for you. So these are the four services which are created under this resource group as part of the Azure function whenever you are creating it. Okay, so this is our name of the function app. This is our name of the function app, B2411 Azure function app. Azure function app. This we are going to use it to create our functions and all. Open this one. This is the main one. This function app is the main one. Remaining all things are supporting things. Let me open this function app. Now we open this function app. We opened. And under the function app, if you see here, activity log, access control, all the things are available. If you see below, we have interesting thing that is called as functions. If you click on these functions, if you click on these functions, whatever we have it, now you see here functions is opened, and you can notice create functions in your preferred environment, and it is given two options. It is given to you. One is using the VS Code desktop. That is the reason we installed already VS Code. We installed it. Best optimized for local development within the VS Code. Custom development tool requirements. We can able to achieve it. Here we have the other editors RCLI. So you can use other things like we have here Visual Studio also available. Visual Studio Code is different. Visual Studio is different. Visual Studio, how it looks like is, if you type here Visual Studio, this is what is a Visual Studio. Visual Studio has some other benefits also, but we are not required about this Visual Studio Code only. We are going to use it. Next, IntelliJ is a one more IDE. You can use that also. Or directly, if you want to use the command line, you can use the command line. So these are the options we have it in order to create our function. Either you can use the VS Code, or you can go for the other editors, you can go for it. Okay, but recommended is always, this is the recommended, so try to use always VS Code. Okay, at this point of time, do I have any functions here? At this point of time, do we have any functions here?
No.
No. Okay. We are going to create the functions using this Visual Studio Code. We are going to create it. Before creating, I would like to connect it first. I would like to connect. Left side, you can observe here, this is called as Explorer and this is called as Azure. Okay. Now, these two buttons are very useful to us actually. Always we'll try to switch between these two tabs only. We are going to switch it. Remaining all things are not required. If you want to hide also, you can able to hide it. These two things are important to me. Explorer. Okay, then next is available here Azure. These are the two things which I am interested. Now, if I click on the Azure, in my case, directly it is logged in here because in the previous batches, I might be logged in. That is reason it remembered and it is able to log in here. Okay, but in our case, it is going to ask you, okay, sign in. Something like that, we are going to get here sign in option. Once you sign in, then only you'll see the Azure for students are going to see it. If I expand this Azure for students, then we have here function app, expand this function app, then we can able to observe here B24, 11, AF, APP, we have it. Under this one, do I have any functions at this point of time? You may not be. Why? Because we did not create it as of now, functions we did not create it. This app only we created. This app, why it is appearing here? Because we created this app here, whatever name you are seeing here, B24, 11, AF, APP, same name we are seeing it. So all the in portal.azure.com, whatever you are seeing it, same things we are seeing here. Same things we are seeing here. Now at this point of time, you can notice files folder and application settings, almost all the things are empty. We have it. Okay. So we need to go and we have to work it so that we'll get some kind of functions. We are going to get it here. Now, here we have the two things, two menus I have it. One is called as resource. Second is called as workspace. Third is help is available, that is not required. Mainly, we are going to work with these resources and workspaces are going to work. Resources and workspaces are going to work. Now, resources means it's totally our Azure. Everything is going to show it here. Everything is going to show it here. Now, I want to go for workspaces now first. In the workspaces, you have the option, the same line, one Azure functions option is available. If I click on the Azure functions option, it is asking you want to create the function or you want to create the new project, you want to create the new containerized project. That means Docker also we can able to create here. Okay, or you want to deploy to the Azure, these are the options are available. I want to create the project because first time we are doing it. That's the reason start with always project. So create the new project. Then it's asking where you want to save this new project related all the work. Okay, we are going to save this all the work uh, on the desktop. Then we have here RRITech folder, RRITech folder. Here I want to create here one more folder. Let's say B2411 Azure function, something like this. I create the folder. Inside this one, I want to do it. Let's try to select it. Once we selected that folder, it's asking which language using you are trying to write our code. Python code you want to use, or JavaScript, or .NET, what you want it. C Sharp, those things, right? So let's go and try to write here Python. And looks like in the Python programming models, two models are available, model V2 and model V1. So model V2 is the latest one, try to use that one. There is asking, tell me what is the version you want to use it. So I want to use the 3.11.3. How it recognize this one? Suppose in my computer, I have here 3.11.3. That's the reason directly it is giving that one. In my case, I have, let's say, 2 or 3 versions are available. Those all 2 or 3 versions will be showing here in the drop down. Okay, we are going to select here latest one, that is 3.11.3. We are selecting it. Now, it's asking different types of functions. We have it. One is called as blob trigger. Okay, next we have here Cosmos DB trigger. Then we have here HTTP trigger, event hub, a number of things are there. Today we'll start first with the HTTP trigger. We'll start with. Okay, let us go and try to select here HTTP trigger. Now this is a HTTP trigger kind of welcome, right? So welcome, very basic one. We are doing HTTP trigger. Okay, welcome or hello world program, something like that. It's the first one. We are trying to do it here. Provide some name. We provided. Then asking about the authorization, who can able to access this one. We are trying to provide here anonymous so that anyone can able to access it. And add to workspace. So this is the workspace. As of now, we are seeing here nothing. If you click on here add to workspace, this will be added to this workspace. Click on add to workspace. Now you can see in the bottom, creating your virtual environment, where the second step out of 7 steps. So once all 7 steps are complete, then we'll get all the required files. You are going to get it, and basic code also you are going to get it. Basic code also you are going to get it. We'll spend some time to understand what code it's created, what is each line is doing it. We'll try to spend some time. Let it complete. So creating the virtual environment. Okay, looks like this creating virtual environment. Yeah, something is saying as do you trust the authors of the files in this folder? Okay, say as a trust. Yes, I trust the authors. Okay. Now here we have the two buttons only. I said one is Azure one, second is Explorer one. Okay, if you want to see your files properly, within the Azure button, whatever we have the workspaces, even though you expand this local project, you are not going to see all the files whatever available. Always, if you want to see your files, means you need to come to this Explorer. Inside the Explorer, you will see all the files. You are going to see it. This .vnv these dots are not required. We are mainly interested about these 4 files. You need to focus. These 4 files you need to focus. Out of these 4 also, 2 files are main our goal. One is requirement.txt. Second is functions underscore app.py. These 2 things are main. Remaining all things are even we are not going to take care. Let's see what is available first in the functions app.py. Okay, we have bunch of code is available. It's very easy to understand. It's very easy to understand. Okay, let us try to understand first 2 lines. Can you able to identify what these first two lines are doing? We're importing Azure.functions as func. We are giving some alias name, we are giving it. Next is we are importing the logging purpose, logging package, we are importing it. Then we created a app. My app name is called as function app. Authentication levels are anonymous. And my app name is called as HTTP trigger. Welcome is my name, whatever I given. Now, this is the function code. Actually, only one function is available under this one. That's what it's called as function. You see here, only def. It's starting with the def means it's a function. Inside this function, you written everything code. For this function, what are the dependency packages are available? These the dependency packages always you have to define here. And these two lines are not going to change. Always these two lines will be there. Okay, that means first we have the imports will be there. Then we have this is a syntax part. Okay, what is the authentication and what is the name of our function? We have to provide it. Rest is actually our code. Now, here you try to observe here this code. By observing this one, we have the input is HTTP request is the input and output is HTTP response is the output. That's how it will be working. And this is a standard syntax. No need to uh, write without seeing kind of thing. Okay, we worked like you click this, this, you click it, then we come to this window, right? So no need to type this one. Automatically we'll get it. Now, if you see below what we have. So first we are trying to say as logging.info. This info Python HTTP trigger function process request is there, right? This is for just for guidelines. Whenever we are running it, till here the cursor is came or not. We want to understand. Okay, that is the reason we are trying to provide here logging info. We are providing it. This without this logging package, we cannot provide this logging info. That is the reason we did it. In the runtime, we need to get the comments. Okay, up to this point it is completed. Up to this point it's completed. We want to know, right? That is the reason this logging info we are providing it. Then next is available something name request. That means this request dot parameters dot get name. That means it is expecting one name parameter is expecting in the runtime. So whenever you are trying to run this function, you mandatorily need to supply that value for the name. Name is a parameter. It is a mandatory parameter. You need to supply the one parameter. You have to supply it. What it's saying is, if not name, if you provide the name, it's okay. If not name, that means you did not provide the name. Then what it's saying, request body get the JSON. If you have any JSON is available, try to get the JSON. Exception value error pass. No errors it is throwing here. And if you are not name you passed it, let us say, then try to get the name whatever you provided. Okay, and if name you try to respond like this, hello, whatever name you provided, like that it is going to respond. It is important. HTTP response is the important one. If you are not provide any name, then it's going to say as a this HTTP trigger function executed successfully, pass a name in the query string or in the request body, some kind of guidelines it is trying to provide here. And status code is 200 also it is provided. That means it's successfully completed, something like that. And in the top you can observe we have here Azure.functions. This is the module name. This module I want means this module must be available in the requirements.txt file. That is the reason they are providing here Azure-functions. Then why they did not provide here logging? Logging is the default package. As part of the Python installation, we are going to get it. That is the reason we did not provide here logging, we did not provide it. Any special package are you are using here? Suppose tomorrow you want to use the pandas, you want to use matplotlib, you want to use some sklearn package for machine learning purpose. Any special package you are using it, those packages you must define here. You must define here. Otherwise, it is going to throw the error, no module found, something like that. Okay, anyone has any questions on this code? Whatever code available, anyone has any questions? If no, then go to the Azure button here, then try to deploy this one. Try to deploy this one. How to deploy it is, you go and try to see the local project. There we have the two options. Second option is deploy to Azure. If you click on the deploy to Azure, there is asking, tell me where you want to deploy it. You want to create a new function app or you want to use the existing one. I want to use the existing one, B2411 AF APP is available, select it. Okay, it's trying to use the existing one, and also it is going to give you one pop-up. Are you sure you want to deploy to this app? This will override any previous deployments and cannot be undone. That's fine. We are trying to deploy it. Click on deploy. So it is going to show you your deployment process progress. We have here 4 steps are available. So one of the fourth step it is happening. It's first zipping your entire code. It's zipping it as a package. Then it's trying to deploy it. After deployment also, it's going to wait for 60 seconds. It is going to wait so that all the code will be properly copied. Sometimes copying process will take some time. That's the reason 60 seconds is a waiting period. It's provided after the first step. Right. At this point of time, you go here and try to observe in the portal. Let's say I'm going to the portal. Just try to click on here, refresh in the top. Now earlier we are seeing here, you write your code in the VS Code, something like that. We got it now. Under the functions, we are seeing our function name. Whatever just now we created, that function we're able to see in the bottom. HTTP trigger welcome. You clicked on the functions. Under the functions, we're able to see HTTP trigger welcome. We're able to see it. Once it is completed, then only you try to open this one so that all the code you're able to see properly. Okay, now it looks like here you can observe succeeded. That means everything is completed. As everything is completed, you can come back here and again refresh it. So only you can notice here one function is available, HTTP trigger welcome. Just for confirmation, click on this HTTP trigger welcome. Then observe the code whatever available here. Is it same code what you written over there? Okay, all the code you are able to see it here, but you cannot modify it. It is a read-only file. Suppose you want to change this dot here. If you try to type it and try to remove it, it's saying as cannot edit in the read-only editor. You cannot modify anything here. Everything you have to modify here, only you have to modify. Then you have to deploy again. In the VS Code only you need to modify it. Now I want to test how it is working. So here we have here something called as get functions URL is available. Select this get functions URL. Then first one whatever available, pick that one. This is our function URL. Wherever you want to call this one, you can able to call it. Wherever you want to call this one, you can able to call it. Okay. Now I want to go here. Let's say I'm taking a separate window. So this is the browser window I'm taking. Maximize this one. Then I'm pasting it, but I'm not running it. I'm pasting it just. Then I'm going here. I'm trying to enable the log also here so that I can see the logs. I can able to see it. So if you want to see this function particular logs, you have to go to the logs tab here. In the logs tab, we always get the error messages. Everything we are going to get very clearly. We are going to get here. That is the reason always get the URL and go to the logs and make sure this is saying as connected. Once it is connected, whatever URL we have it, go and try to enter now. That means you are trying to run it. It is giving one message. This HTTP trigger function executed successfully. Pass a name in the query string or in the request body for a personalized response. Can you tell me from where we got this line of information? This line of information we received from the last line, whatever we have it. As you did not pass any name, if name is available, then it might be executed this one. As you did not pass any name, it is executed this one, and whatever we have here, everything is displaying over there for you. Okay, now I want to pass here one parameter. For example, name is my parameter is equal to my name. I am passing it here. So Myla or simply will write here Ram. Okay, Ram, I am writing it. Let us go and try to enter. Now you can see it's saying as hello Ram. This HTTP triggered function executed successfully, it's saying. Now same thing, I want to call this one inside the ADF, I want to call it. Same thing, I want to call this one inside the ADF, how I can do that. So go to the ADF, let us say we have here our portal. Yeah, this is our portal. Let's try to duplicate this. And also you can see here logs, right, clearly when it is executed, sending the this one Python HTTP trigger function, processed a request, executed, succeeded. Those all things are able to see it here. This is what the logs you can able to observe. Some reason tomorrow some errors are there. The errors also is going to show it here. Based on the errors, you need to realize what is the problem. Now I want to go to the ADF now, right? Go for the ADF port adf.azure.com. Continue. Then we have here pipelines. Let's try to create here one new pipeline. We are creating it. Then we want here one activity. That activity is called as Azure Functions activity. Let's try to select here Azure Functions. Now Azure Functions, just now we created, just try to configure that Azure Functions. So we are trying to configure here our Azure Functions. We have here general name, let it be like that. Then settings, it is expecting Azure Functions linked service. Let's try to create here one linked service. Click on the new, then give it as name as Azure Functions linked service it is ls. Then provide here subscription. This is the student's subscription. Then Azure Functions app URL it is expecting. Go to the drop down. This you can notice here. This is our app. You pass this app URL. Then authentication method anonymous we given. So let it be like that. Then it is expecting here function key it is expecting. Okay, function key it is expecting. Let's try to provide this function key. Let me collect that one first. No. So let us go and try to collect it. Let us go to the back, this portal. Now we have here, this is our initial portal. Here you can notice under the functions, we have here app keys is available. Select the app keys. In the app keys, we have the function keys available. Let's try to click on here, show the value first. So this is the key. Copy this one, copied. Now go and try to pass here. This is what the function key, we are passing it. Then click on here, create. Click on here, create. Then linked service is created. Now it is expecting what is the name of the function it is expecting. So we know our name of the function is available here as, let's take from here also, it's okay. What is the name of our function? This is our name of the function, HTTP trigger, welcome is the name. Let's try to take this one. This is our name of the function, HTTP trigger welcome. Then method of the API is expecting. We are using a posting because we are posting the name is on parameter, we are posting it. Then body, yeah, body also we have to pass here on parameter. So I'm giving a name is equal to rom is the parameter what I am passing it. Name rom I am passing it. Then that's it. We are done. Click on here debug. Let us observe is it running or not. Is it running or not? So now you can observe it is going on in progress. Yeah, it's succeeded. Let us observe what is the input you given, what is the output we are getting it. Input you given, this is the function name, this is the body, okay, and this is the method is post method. And if you see the output here, you can notice here output is response. Response we got here is this HTTP triggered function executed successfully. No, this is not I am expecting. In this body personalized response. No, this response I'm expecting hello ROM kind of thing. Why we got this? This is not recognized. This JSON name 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 ROM. Why this is not recognized? No, it's not recognized. What is the code here? NAME name. Okay, same thing we are passing. We are passing. Somehow it is not recognizing my parameter. That's what I'm trying to do it. Why it is not recognizing? Yeah, now it is recognized. Hello Ram, this is HTTP trigger function exercise. What is the mistake is I was not passing double quotes. That is a mistake. So if you see here, for key as well as for value, both the cases I need to pass here, double quotes I have to pass it. I did not pass the double quotes, so it was not recognizing it. Okay. So after I pass here double quotes, it is recognizing. Tool to tool, the syntax will be changing. In case of previous, whenever I am opening in the browser itself directly, no double quotes, nothing. Directly passed here equal to and we did it. This is how in this browser it works. But coming to the ADF, for key as well as for value, it is expecting something like this. Okay, now it's not the ROM. Then we want to give some other name here, you can provide it. Okay, learning, okay, Azure function, something like this I provided. Click on OK. Now click on here, debug. Then we're going to get the response is equal to learning Azure functions, we're going to get it. Once we have this response here, you can capture that one into variable and you can use further wherever you want, you can use it. Now we got here learning AF, we got it. Suppose this response you want to capture in the next level. Yes, we have the option, set variable, we have it. You can go and you can take the set variable here, then try to connect this one. Whatever response is available, that response can capture here. Suppose new, okay, Azure function output, Azure function output. Now it is a string, confirm this one. Now I want to pass here value. The value is equal to activity output, Azure function output, whatever available, dot response, right? Response. So this is going to give the response, is it is going to give it. So we are trying to take a response. Okay, what is the response is available that we are trying to capture and store in the variable. Let's click on here debug. Now this is succeeded. Observe this variable value. Okay, we have the variable value as hello learning Azure function. This HTTP trigger function executed successfully. You want only this piece, you want it, you can use the substring functions, those all things, and you can capture only this part only, you can able to capture it. Okay, now we learned successfully how to create one small Azure function, how to create small Azure function, and the Azure function result how to capture into one variable. We learned about it. Tomorrow we'll continue on this one and how to create the Azure function to do the transformation. That's what our main goal. To do the transformation, we'll try to learn tomorrow. So today, if you follow my notes, we completed create hello HTTP trigger. We completed create hello HTTP trigger. We completed. Next is available create HTTP trigger to do the ETL using Python. This one we are going to do tomorrow. Till here, I completed. Everyone, please try to focus on first three steps. You try to focus. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Tomorrow we'll do the ETL using Azure functions.
Hello. Hi, Ram.
Yeah. Yeah. Hi.
Hi. This is my first session.